Hey, you guys! How are you all? Let me turn off the music here for everyone. Okay. If anyone is on here and you are trying to get on Instagram, Instagram is being a pain in the behind and is not letting me connect. I've been trying multiple times. So we are on Facebook and YouTube for anyone who is interested. Hi, Beth. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, BB. Michelle Allen. Hi, Lori. Lisa.
Hey,
Heidi.
you guys. Yay.
How are you all?
Good.
Let me turn off the music here for everyone. Okay. Okay. Something is, if anyone is on here and you are trying to get on, there we go. I think it was pulling audio from my other account.
There's a steep learning curve on this live stuff, let me tell you.
No, you guys, it was such a pain because we were trying to get it connected to Facebook, Instagram. I was going to try to do TikTok. I'm going to have to do TikTok after this. So anyone who is on TikTok, join me after this over there because it's just too much trying to get it all connected. It's super fun. So hi, Summer. Hi, Beverly. Yay. I'm so excited to have you guys. Well, I want to introduce you all to Michael today. He is the perfumer for Marsté, and he is here to, he's extremely talented, you guys, very humble. So I'm going to brag on him for a second because he will not brag on himself. So Michael and I have known each other for 3 years. Long story short, before I even closed Makeup You guys, I was taking perfume classes online for fun. It was a hobby because at that time I needed a creative outlet and something I enjoyed. And I've loved fragrances for a really, really long time. So I was taking classes for perfumery, just trying to understand like raw materials, how is it blended? It was just really fun for me. And I fell in love with it so much. I ended up just taking more classes. Well, I ended up taking one of Michael's classes. He was a brilliant teacher, you guys. And I fell in love with his classes and I learned so much. At that moment, it was literally right when I had to announce Makeup Geek was closing. I kept taking the classes. I was like, okay, I don't know what the next stage of my life is. And I was like, I really enjoy this so much. I actually enjoy perfume, I think, more than makeup, you guys. Oh, the audacity. I can't believe I'm saying that. I mean, I still love makeup, you guys, but I love fragrance so much more. So when I was talking with Michael, I was like, I really think I want to make a career out of this. And so he kind of came on board, and I didn't find out till later, you guys, that he was a perfumer for Tom Ford, Jo Malone, several other brands, has done phenomenal work. He is insanely talented. So when we started the process of formulating for Marsté, it blew me out of the water. Like the whole process has been amazing. So Michael's incredible, insanely talented. You guys, when it comes to formulations, you'll be able to tell when you smell the fragrances. The quality is a whole nother level of anything that I have in my collection. I'm not just saying that because it's ours, but it really is an amazing job. So that's Michael. Yay!
Hi, everyone. I'm letting Marlena take the lead here today, but I'm going to talk when it's my turn. So Marlena also, like she said, this is a labor of love, but it's also something that, you know, shutting down one part of your journey and moving on to the next step is scary sometimes. I mean, I wasn't always a perfumer myself. I started in creative direction, so I did a lot of visual stuff before I was a perfumer. So next year will be about 14 years of doing this, and I love it too. I think it feeds my soul like it does Marlena. And yes, she took a bunch of classes. She took some public classes that I was teaching, but then she actually, before we even started the process of formulating, she did 60 hours of raw materials training. And raw materials, if you're not familiar, are all of the different things you can kind of see. I have an entire wall here in my studio where we work on fragrance. The raw materials are all of the different ingredients that we use. So all kinds of different things. And normally in a fragrance, you have a certain cost that people are trying to meet when they put the actual fragrance inside. We have spent the most money on that part of the project. We've spent like a lot of money putting something really important inside the bottle. So when we say jasmine, we mean it. There's really jasmine. When we talk about these different things, we've really put them in, and we've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in here, not directly in the bottle, but I think that you'll see when you smell that this was something that we both cared about very, very deeply. So it's been really awesome, and glad we're finally out there.
I know it's been a few years, because I think a lot of people, when they think of fragrances, are like, oh, I'm going to create a fragrance and slap my name on it. Like, it's been, I'll let Michael testify to that just in case anyone doesn't believe me, but it's been a lot of work. And I really did, personally, I wanted to study a lot of the materials. How many raw materials did I learn from you?
Almost 300.
Almost 300, one by one, you guys. So we would spend hours over months, one by one, studying raw materials, citronellol, limonene, all these different raw materials that go into fragrances, smelling each one by one, making notes. What did I like about each one? What does it smell like? Trying to memorize them. What are the characteristics? It really is a science. It is not this like, oh, I'm just going to mix stuff together and make something. It really is like very much a science and art. So when you see someone like Michael, a perfumer, like he did years of training on this. It's a full like actual science of, I feel like you should have a chemist hat that you wear too.
I mean, I have my lab coat and things, but I decided to dress up a little bit for today and put on a fancy shirt. So I don't look like an unmade bed, which is sometimes, Marlene and I sometimes don't look this good when we're having a meeting, let me tell you. We look like we just got dragged in by the cat. And so we've worked really hard. We've had lots of roller coaster rides throughout the process too, of this thing doesn't work, we have to fix it, and it's mostly around the packaging. That's the hardest thing to get right. And we started with an idea, and I think, Marlena, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that we did a really nice job in the end. Everything worked out how it was supposed to. This beautiful smoked effect on the bottle, the custom cap, it all really came together really nicely in the end. So
yeah, this is the other thing, you guys, and then we'll do Q&A. So if you all have questions for Michael, like, this is your opportunity, because not many perfumers make themselves available for the public just to ask questions about fragrance, because it's kind of this mysterious thing of like, oh, like, I know it smells good, but that's about it. So if you guys have any questions about perfumery, fragrance, anything that you've ever wanted to know, would be an amazing time to ask that. But side note too, you guys, so I want to show you the bottle. So this is the bottle. We went through so many versions of this bottle. I think it was like 3 or 4 before finally coming up with this one. First, it was like a kind of a rounded bottle at first, and then we went through that, and then that fell through, like it just wasn't right. And it was so many ideations of this bottle before it finally came to this one. But Michael's modest, and I'm going to say this as well, throughout the process, he ended up designing the cap, you guys. I want to show you the cap. So I don't know, and not to put you on the spot, I don't know if you have your drawings. If not, that's okay.
Not right here, no, but eventually we'll release something that shows the design process for the bottle and stuff.
Yeah. So this was all hand sketched. So we kind of sat together and said, okay, what can the cap look like? I knew I wanted this kind of hexagon shape. I'll go into it a little bit later on as to why I wanted the specific number of sides represents each person in my family. But Michael took the idea and then came up with several versions of this cap. And then it ended up being this one here. So this is hand sketched, and these are also hand done, and they're really heavy. Most caps that you get, they're kind of like plasticky feeling. This is full on like metal coated. Like, it's pretty hefty. I think if you guys ever need a weapon, like, this is good to go. And the same thing with the bottle. It's a pretty hefty bottle there, pretty heavy. So yes. So everything was hand done on all of that. So let's ask a few questions for Michael, and then we'll go through the fragrances for you guys, and then we'll have the giveaway. For 5 lucky winners are going to win some fragrances today too. So let me put up a question from Melissa. Michael, do you source ingredients from France since most perfumes are made there?
That's a great question. Actually, most perfumes aren't made in France. They're the big companies that some of them started in France or Switzerland in some cases. They have actual places all over the world. So creation centers where the perfumers work, but also manufacturing centers. So you actually have them. You might even have one in your hometown and not know there's some in Florida. So there's actually lots of different places. But to answer the ingredient question, the ingredients do come from all over the world as well. I have plenty from France, but there are a lot of different producers, so it depends. A lot of the citrus comes from Italy or Brazil, used to be from California a little bit and Florida, but climate change is real. We've had to switch up some things, but depending on what the materials are and where they come from, they have different smells as well. So we always use what's right for the formula. But yeah, this studio here has about 3,500 raw materials, and they're from everywhere, all over. I wish I could give you an easy list, but it would take us forever. We don't have enough time.
I remember even the raw materials that we would smell, you guys, it would say like Virginia cedar wood, or there'd be like
Cardamom.
cardamom. There's like different types of cardamoms. One comes from India, one comes from, I think, is it Guatemala? Yeah.
Sri Lanka, yeah.
So we would, when we're formulating, pick out the one that we liked best. So
You like Guatemalan the best.
I do. Yeah, I like the Guatemalan a little bit better.
It smells like the one that you cook with. Really,
Yes.
really the same. Yeah.
When we were formulating, you guys, like you take raw materials from all these different places, and we literally down to the detail pick, okay, we like Guatemalan cardamom better than India one for this reason, so we're going to use that raw material. So it can get very, very specific, not only in the ingredient, but where it's sourced from. It can smell differently based on where it comes from. So it's really very detailed and scientific. So okay, so DJR and Roxana both are asking this. Okay, why did you choose French names for the perfumes?
That's a you question, but do you want me to answer? I mean, I know, but I can.
I'll answer this one. Okay, I'll try not to get emotional saying this, you all. I was really worried when we launched Marsté, especially when I first met Michael. I was like, Michael, I really want this to be centered around France. But most people, when they try to do a French line, are trying to be like, oh, I'm bougie, let me have something fancy. For me, it absolutely is not, you guys. I have since I was a child. I'm trying not to get emotional. I have no idea why. Since I was a child, I would have French pictures in my room. Eiffel Tower, French architecture, little bikes by cafes. My parents never understood why, because we never, growing up, had the funds to travel anywhere internationally. I'd never been outside the country until I was an adult. So I just was always in love with France for some reason. I couldn't explain why. When my dad passed away in 2011, it was right before Makeup Geek had launched. I had wanted to for my whole life to go to France. I just could never afford it. So I was going to go before my dad had passed away, but he was sick and I didn't want to leave and something happened. So when he passed away, I was like, I have to go now. And that trip was right after he passed away. It was a way for me to almost make a tribute to him. And the whole trip that I took, I kind of brought my dad with me. And every stop I would take, Notre Dame, the Eiffel Tower, Jardin de Luxembourg, all these iconic places that we could never afford to go to when I was growing up. I thought that this was my chance, and I brought my dad with me. So every stop that I would make, I would be like, Dad, look, I'm here. I made it. I got to go to this place. And crazy story, you guys. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. I found out years later that I actually am 47% French. I had no idea. My whole family, they lied to me, you guys. My dad had told me that we were German, I was English, Italian, and I did the DNA testing after that trip, and I found out I'm 47% French. I had no idea. So it was kind of this full circle like moment. And Notre Dame in specific, I had an immediate connection to the first time I saw it. So I was studying classes in France, and every weekend I would go to Notre Dame and I would just sit there and I would just think of my dad. It was kind of like a way for me to grieve him and just have special memories of him. So France always holds a special place in my heart. And since then, my dream has always been to try to live there or be there. I've studied French for 12 years. My French still is horrible. So long story short, that's the reason why it's French names. It's very personal. And each of the fragrances, the fine fragrances, are based off of a specific memory I had in a part of France while I had studied there. So that's the reason. Okay, so let's find some.
There were some I noticed as we were going, but I don't have the ability to, I don't think I can find.
Oh, okay.
There were some that were specifically about perfume or raw materials, I think I saw.
Yeah, let's ask some questions. Okay, sorry. What basic course? Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying. There's so many questions, you guys. Here, I'm going to show this one. This is for Michael. Michael, if you can say, what has been your favorite fragrance to work on besides this one?
So it's a tough question, actually, because I really like the process with the client and doing all of that. But I've been working for as long as 3 years seems for me and Marlena, I've been working on something of my own for about 9 years, and we're ready to launch in about 10 months. So I've enjoyed working on those maybe the most recently because I'm getting close to the end. So I'm really, really excited to come out with something. When you work as a perfumer, many times you get to collaborate with people and you create a product that's really, really amazing. And I think what Marlena and I did is awesome. But sometimes you also want to say your own thing or do your own thing. I have one that's around tuberose because I just love tuberose. So I'm really excited about that. I have to be biased there, but I really, really, really love what we did for Marsté. And there's something unique with each one, something that you don't find commonly in a lot of other fragrances, and when we smell them we can talk a little bit about that too, I'm sure. So
yeah. Lisa has a question. Hope I am saying it right. Michael, what are your favorite notes? So you said tuberose. Are there any others that your
I do
favorite?
love tuberose. I think lately I'm really enjoying a lot of different tea extracts. I'm a big tea drinker. I'm a big tea person. I really like a lot of the extracts that we have around tea, so those are really beautiful. But I also love neroli, which is the orange blossom oil. That one is really, really beautiful too. But I love labdanum, which a lot of people aren't familiar with. But when you read amber as a note in fragrance, it's two things. It's a vanilla note, then it's mixed with a resinous note of labdanum. That's an amber. So I really love amber. I think it's a really beautiful, easy to wear, easy to enjoy for almost everyone. Almost nobody dislikes it. So I really like, maybe amber is a favorite of mine too, I guess I could say.
Oh, nice. Okay, I have one other question, I think, for Michael. Well, actually, it could be for either of us. Amy's asking, what is the difference between a perfume and an essence? We have perfumes and we have essences.
Yeah, so they're actually they're all fragrance, they're all perfume, you could say. But with the essences, the idea behind them was to pick a favorite single raw material. So mandarin, sandalwood, and vanilla, and then sort of dress it up in a tuxedo, if you will, or put it out for a night on the town. So we analyzed what we felt like were the important components, like the creaminess of sandalwood, the depth of the vanilla, the brightness of the mandarin, and then we just accented it so that it's very, very easy to understand. It's very simple to wear, but there's a lot going on there as well. And of course, people like to combine fragrances on their own. People who aren't perfumers necessarily, they sometimes like to layer things. So we thought it would be nice, the purity of the essence, using the real material and then dressing it up. It can also go with any of the other fragrances. You could layer the essences, but you can layer them alongside the others, and it can change the whole profile. So we wanted to build that into the brand so that it was an option, because we know people enjoy it, but we also wanted each one to be really unique and stand on its own. And I think that they definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a lot of the essences they are fine fragrances, so you can wear them on your own. Like, for example, Essence Vanille is very vanilla centered. You guys know I couldn't do a line without having a vanilla fragrance. As soon as I told Michael, I was like, I have to do a vanilla. He was like, I already know. So we try to come up, I think he did an amazing job coming up with something that's very unique, but still very vanilla centered. Has like a hint of lime, a hint of coriander there, but it's very much like a sweet, decadent, rich vanilla. So I wear this on its own all the time. I always get people saying, oh, this smells really beautiful. I love vanilla. Vanilla is a very, obviously a favorite. But sometimes if I have another fragrance and I just want to bring out the vanilla in it or add vanilla to it, then I'll just spray one on top of it, and it changes the scent profile to be more vanilla centered. So that's how the essences are used. They definitely can be just worn on their own and they'll still be absolutely gorgeous. They are a fine fragrance or an eau de parfum, but then you can layer them if you want to, which is the fun part of it. Yeah.
I wear the sandalwood one actually quite a lot. Perfumers don't get to wear perfume very much, believe it or not. We wear what we're working on usually and evaluating it and deciding, do we need to change? Do we need to switch? Whatever. So when I get a day off, which is rare also, like I'm going to dinner or something, the sandalwood one is kind of it's one I reach for over and over. Also Montmartre, I really love the floral and the soft pear notes in there. So those are kind of my personal favorites. Some people were asking, I just noticed, Marlena, some people were asking about which ingredients do we use, and safety, and are any toxic or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfumery is very, very regulated. It's regulated by its own body called IFRA that decides, based on science and research, what needs to be limited or eliminated from fragrances. I personally select everything that's in my palette, so we don't use anything that is outside of safety. We follow the European Union safety regulations, which are the strictest in the world. So everything that we do here, everything that we generate is perfectly safe. Occasionally, if you have certain things inside of the fragrance, some people might have a little bit of a reaction, but generally we've had no problems with any of that.
I do want to talk really quickly about this one, and then Susie, I'll get back to your question. So Melissa's asking, it was important that perfumes are not toxic to bring in. Some brands use cheap ingredients that are bad for you. So I don't know if you want to speak on that, Michael. Without us, we're not going to try to bash brands or anything, but we did very specifically use high quality ingredients. And whenever I say that, a lot of people are like, what do you mean you use high quality ingredients? Like, how is that different from other brands?
Yeah, so we think about where the product comes from. So if it's a natural ingredient, then we think about who are the people who harvest it. Like in the case of flowers, who's harvesting the flower, where is it extracted, all of that type of stuff. We also, every time we get a new raw material here in the studio, we get all of the regulatory paperwork. So it says chemical components that are inside the extract. It talks about how much you can use and how much you need to hold back. So that's part of the training of a professional perfumer, is to understand the safety and the regulation side. So nothing that we use here is toxic. If we get reports that something is even looking a little bit suspect, we don't include it in our perfumes. We don't use those types of things because I don't want to. And I know most of my clients, of course, also want something that's safe and that's a high quality ingredient. So we care a lot about the palette. We pick everything ourselves, essentially.
I did want to touch on one thing, because that's what I learned when we were studying together, when I was taking my lessons, is that sometimes when you see like vanilla, for example, so when a brand says that they have vanilla and you'll see it as a keynote, like, oh, vanilla, it doesn't actually mean that you have actual vanilla extract in there. They use a bunch of compounds mixed together to smell like vanilla. So it'll smell like vanilla. It doesn't mean it actually has vanilla in it. So Michael was very cognizant, and I'll let him speak on that, of actually making sure that when we say there's jasmine in there, there's jasmine in there. It's not just a bunch of BS mixed together to smell like jasmine. Like, there's actually some of that in there.
Yeah, and there are also things that we don't have a natural extract of, so we're not always able to use it. So like something like rhubarb, which is a note in Jardin de Luxembourg, we have to recreate that. And that's part of what we do as a perfumer, is we create sort of the space or the world that everything lives in. So where we're able to, I love to use the natural extracts, but when we're trying to get an effect, we may not have an extract like that. So then we use some other different combinations to achieve that sort of same idea of like biting into fresh rhubarb or smelling lilac. It's really hard to find extracts of anything like that. So we partly use the naturals, and then we partly dress them up and make this really beautiful canvas that we can almost paint on and make it really come to life. That's the job that we're meant to do as perfumers. So
Yeah. Really quick, someone said, oh, it was Susie. I wanted to come back to your question. Does anyone wear perfume to sleep? I do. People think I'm crazy, but when I get out of the shower, like when I go to bed,
cozy.
yeah, I want to feel cozy. I want to smell myself. So like when I get out of the shower, I wear Essence Mandarin, which is very fresh and light. But if I'm, already showered and then I'm going to bed, I'm going to hop in bed, then I'll wear Essence Santal, because it's a little bit woody. It's cozy. It's not like overly sweet and things like that. It's just very comforting. So that's the one I wear to bed. I know people think that I'm crazy wearing things to bed, but like I'm the one laying around in it, smelling it. So I want to smell good, and it almost sometimes helps me fall asleep a little bit better. I know that sounds weird, but
There's lots of proven science that says that is scientifically proven, like sandalwood, for instance, it helps your mental state. Somebody asked a question that's not come up, Jackie, it looks like, talking about performance and sillage, and then saying ingredients that are clean tend to fade, and do they need to sit for a few months? So I've actually noticed, because I live in a little slightly different world than Marlena does. I'm more focused on perfumery than anything else. A lot of people have been talking recently about needing a perfume to sit for a few months. So when you buy a product, what we normally do is the fragrance concentrate, the pure fragrance, is made. We make however much we need, we order it. It sits for up to a month to age properly and mix together. Then it's added to whatever we're adding it to. So alcohol in the case of the perfumes, then it sits again for about a month. That's called maceration. So everything that you receive when you order it, it's already aged. It's the perfect time to wear it, and it will last as long as it's not in the really, beating sun or in a really hot room or something like that. It will last for years. So we're very, very aware of that. And also the sillage on all 6 of the fragrances is really good. It's something that, sometimes people wear fragrance that you smell from a mile away and it feels like a punch in the face or a slap. These fragrances, you smell just enough that you want to get a little bit closer and you want to ask about them. And that's really my style as a perfumer. I don't like to be whacked in the face. I prefer to discover it as I go. And they last quite a long time as well. So
yeah, for sure. Ursula's asking if we have a sampler set. We do. So that's what I recommend everyone do when you're first starting out. So this is our sample set right here. Comes in this cute little bag here. My mom actually assembled a lot of these and then our team finished it up. So these were hand tied. I know I keep saying that everything was done by hand. No, it really was. My mom was in there hustling, putting the little ribbons on, and then the rest of our team was putting everything in there. So when you guys get it, you open it up and it has this little pocket of all of the fragrances. And I think most brands have 1.5 ml. These are 2 ml, and we made sure that they're filled pretty much to the top there, so you guys get a good amount. How much would a 2 ml last, Michael? How many sprays you think, or how many days?
Probably wear it over 3 to 5 days, depending on how heavy you go. But yeah, there's about, 30 sprays in there, I would say. It's quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, there's about 30.
You can get a really good idea of if you like it or you don't like it. You can play with the layering part. There's plenty there to.
Yeah, so you guys will get all 6 of the fragrances in that, and these are $32. And then everyone who purchases these, you'll get an email in a couple weeks after you purchase it with a special discount towards a full bottle if you end up finding one that you like. We were going to do it to where this went towards the full purchase, and we had a little bit of issues on the tech side of things of getting that to work. We didn't want any glitches. So if you buy this, watch out for your email. We'll send you a coupon after you buy this, and if you find one that you like and you want a full bottle, we'll apply some of this towards the bottle. So just know that, because I know that fragrances are not cheap, and I know I want to be sensitive to current times. So if you guys really do love them, we'll try to put some of that towards that bottle. So
someone asked if the samples are the same strength as the perfume. So the samples that you get, they are exactly the same. They're exactly what you get when you order the bottle. Everything is the same product. And somebody also asked about the notes and things like that. All of that really good information is on the website, houseofmarsté.com. We went through and did the descriptions and gave you all the indication of the notes. And somebody said, what's good for a mid-50s gal? So my mom, she's in her 60s now, but her favorite is Jardin de Luxembourg because of the lilac note. She loves lilac. So really there's no right or wrong answer. Whatever you enjoy, I say that you wear. I don't even believe in it's for men or women. I always say whatever you like, you wear it, you enjoy it. That's what perfume is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an escape or a chance to wind down or just enjoy. It's not meant to be too much of a fuss.
I know. I'm one of those. When I first started, I'm looking for my tester strips, you guys. I don't know where they went. Hold on. But when Michael and I were first starting to work together, it was really important that all of these were unisex, because me personally, I hate to have labels and say, you're a girl, you have to wear flowers and fruit. Me personally, you guys, I always lean a bit more towards the masculine, right? I have several bottles in my collection that are masculine. And every time I wear them, it's when I get the most compliments, because it's almost shocking, because here I am in full glam. I have my hair on, I've got big lipstick on and all of that. And here I am coming in with a more masculine stereotyped fragrance. So they get kind of taken aback, oh, what is that? I love that. So with the whole line, everything very much is unisex. Une Nuit, for example, this one, the amber one, my husband and I both share this bottle. We both wear it. And on him, smells totally different on him than in me, and it's gorgeous in its own right on different people. So definitely they can be worn by everyone, not just women. So wanted to throw that out there. Last question, and then let's go through the fragrances, and then I want to get to the giveaway too. So Julia asks, are sensitivities of fragrance personal, or can it be notes or ingredients that can trigger sensitivities?
So sensitivities covers a lot of different things. The most common thing that happens to people is certain components, whether it's a natural or synthetic material, sometimes can cause like a slight irritation or something, especially if you go in the sun. It's pretty rare. It's under 2% of people that have been studied that have this reaction. But most like natural ingredients have certain compounds that can cause a little bit of a skin irritation. That's why they always recommend that you just test a little small patch before you start. But I do know that sometimes there are certain more synthetics, I think, than naturals. Certain synthetic components can cause a little bit of a reaction. There's a whole category of synthetics called dry amber materials. And sometimes when you smell something, it smells really overwhelming and mineral, like in Bleu de Chanel. If you smelled that, there's a really dry amber note in that, and it's very powerful. So I think the most reactive people are when they have a sensitivity in smelling, it's something like that, or maybe like a pepper, like pink pepper or black pepper, because it tends to irritate just here in the nose. So some people are different. You know, we all smell differently, and we all are built of kind of the same thing, but in a different way, different results. So I always say test it out first, and that's why the samples are good. But most people don't have these big reactions generally to perfume that's made the right way.
Yeah. Do you think, Michael, I actually had this question too, because I know there's some fragrances out there, and again, I'm not trying to bash or anything like that, but I feel like there are some out there that, in my opinion, smell very not natural, very, very synthetic. Can that trigger headaches more than ones that would have more natural raw materials in there?
There's no
Or
universal type of answer. Everybody has different sensitivities. I think that oftentimes it's those dry amber ones that cause that to happen the most common. When you eat something spicy and it kind of tingles in your nose, even if you just smell black pepper, the area in your nose that smells that part and reacts to it is the same part that reacts when you have the dry amber. So if there's a big dose in a perfume, you might feel like you have an irritation here, and it might cause a headache that you kind of get across. So that's generally a lot of fragrances that are marketed to men have that note in there now. Like I said, Bleu de Chanel has it. So if you've ever felt sensitive when you walked into a Sephora, like there's just too much, you know, take a step out and get some fresh air, a few breaths of fresh air, and also lots of water. Water resets your nose really, really well. So if you start to get a headache, have a nice cool glass of water. That helps a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Michael would have me do that in the classes because we smell so many raw materials. So he was like, okay, let's stop, go get some fresh air, let's drink some water just to kind of clean your palate a little bit before smelling some more. So I put the QR code up here, you guys. So we're offering just today only 20% off of everything. So if you guys want to experience the brand, try the sample set, whatever you guys want, I've got a 20% off just for those who join the live. So I put the little code here just so you guys are asking. And then someone was asking too about the sample sets. You can buy them on houseofmarsté.com. If you click on that link, it'll take you directly to the site. If the code doesn't work at all, please let me know and we'll make sure to get you taken care of. But we tested it, so that sucker should work.
Tracy's also asking about cruelty-free. So animal testing on perfume ingredients was banned in the 1970s. So we don't actually test anything on animals. Nothing is done that way in the United States and in the EU. The other thing is the use of any kind of animal product. We don't have animal products inside of any of these fragrances. But the only animal products that I use here are things like beeswax, which is sustainably harvested from the hives. If a beehive actually goes a certain number of years without some of the wax being taken out, they actually run out of room and the colony can't keep growing. So harvesters in places like France and Switzerland take about a third every season, and they extract that. The honey goes to the flavor industry, and the beeswax absolute comes to us. So things like that, where the animal's not harmed, we use here in the studio. But otherwise, yes, we don't. The only animals that anything gets tested on are my dogs at home. If they smell something on me, I don't spray it on them, but they might like or dislike something. So they're usually my evaluators. They do the testing for me, but it's cruelty free because I love them.
That's like my dog too, Bella, especially. If I spray a certain she really likes the vanilla one. My dogs go crazy. Every time I wear vanilla, Bella will come up. She'll be like trying to sniff me and everything. And I'm like, okay, don't eat me now.
Someone's asking how to get the QR code if they're on their phone, and I am not an expert at that, so I do not know. Can we put a link at the bottom? Is that possible just for House of Marsté that people could click?
Yeah, let me try to, there's a different card here. Let me put this up really quick too. Oh, it has the QR code too. Okay, let me pull up. I'm going to let Michael talk a little bit and ask some questions, answer some questions, and then I'll get the link for you guys and see if I can add it on here. Summer says, Michael, you were brilliant. This is so interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, so it says, how do I get the QR code? So you guys, the code that I set up is launch20, LAUNCH 20. If you put launch 20, I'm trying to see if I'll type a message from, let me put it on here. So the code is launch 20. Okay, I put that in the chat bot, you guys. So if you can't scan this, that's the code. Put that in and it should take the 20% off for you guys today. Okay, really quick, let's go through some of the fragrances and then we will answer some more questions for you guys. So let's start with the fine fragrances. So the first one we have is Jardin de Luxembourg. This is kind of the purpley tinted one. In my opinion, this is fresh, light, floral when I wear it. And Michael can probably describe it better than I can from a professional standpoint. But whenever I wear it, this is the one I wear every day when I want to just feel very elegant, chic, when I'm going out to brunch with a friend, if I'm going on a date with my husband during the day. Jardin is the one that I wear because it is so chic. You definitely can smell the quality of this one, you guys. It's unlike any fragrance. And you guys know I have 350 fragrances at home. And this to me is so special because it smells like actual pure flowers and fresh. It doesn't smell synthetic in any way to me at all. It smells very elegant.
It's it's, Marlene and I, of course, talked about all her different memories. And then as the perfumer, you bring your own ideas too. And growing up, we had a huge lilac bush and my mom's favorite is lilac. So the lilacs that grow in Jardin de Luxembourg in Paris, there's hyacinth, there's all of these different interesting notes, floral notes. So when I smell this, I have that effect of sort of just leaning into a big bush of blooming lilacs where they're kind of dewy. So you have this green, fresh note, but it smells like a natural flower. And then you have this little bit of rhubarb note, this green tart note that's a little bit fruity, but not overwhelmingly fruity. So it is very fresh and green, and it does smell naturalistic. It does smell like a real living plant instead of a synthetic version of a lilac or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you put the website link into the chat? A bunch of people are asking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it, but there we go.
I just put it on YouTube.
You've only got 2 W's.
Oh, I do. It's 3 W's, you guys. Sorry. Apparently I cannot type today.
Marlene is just starting to do the internet now.
You guys, when did I get so dang old that I can't do shit on the internet? I'm like, me being on I did my first live on TikTok last week, and I felt like such an idiot. I couldn't figure out how to turn the power off. I was like, am I that old now, you guys? I can't do shit on the internet. I was like, how do I?
We're old. Get over it.
Trying to hit the power button. I was like, oh, I turned it off, you guys. So sorry. I had to pause it. And then I was like, where's the power button, you guys? I'm so sorry.
But yeah, this one dries down, and it has a very soft, light woodiness, almost like you're walking in a garden or a forest. So it starts to, as it dries down and the flowers go, you end up with this very clean, almost like a clean laundered musky smell. So not like an animal musk, but more like fresh laundry. And that's why it's really like a comforting, chic, elegant type of wear. So it's like, it's interesting because it does kind of read as a very like modern, upscale, chic person, but it's also really approachable because it has those notes that I feel like a lot of people have smelled these different flowers and they, have some connection, so that it's a good entry point. I think it's not a fragrance that you'd be afraid to smell because you think it's too good for you. We wanted these to be amazingly done, but also we want everybody to enjoy them. My mom is basically texting me 3 times a day, every day, saying, when is my box coming? Because she wants the lilac one so badly. So get on it.
I promise. Really quick, you guys, because someone's saying about the shipping fee. So Karina, yes, the shipping fee is like $11. I do not control that. I promise you guys, I'm not trying to charge you extra for the shipping. That's UPS's rates. We have negotiated with them. We have a meeting with USPS. We already had a meeting with them. We're trying to get them on board to see if they can negotiate with us to get that price down. So right now it is $11 to ship the Discovery set. That's not a price that we put out there. That's UPS. If you guys are worried about that shipping fee, that's why I gave the 20% off to try to like at least knock that shipping out. We have free shipping if you get the full bottles here. But also we are next week trying to get USPS on to try to beat the rates out so we can get better pricing for you guys. So I apologize about that. I promise that's not our rates that we're putting out there. We can't control that. That's UPS. That's a whole nother conversation. So if the shipping fee is high, give me a week and we'll have more options for you guys to choose from so you can see exactly how much it costs based on where you're at and where you live. So I just wanted to address that for you guys.
And it's really, so I can maybe speak a little to this too, because I have to order things on a regular basis, my raw materials and things like that. And we have a lot of things going on, obviously, out there in the world, politically in all the different countries and everything, shipping between, you know, the United States and anywhere else. There are different fees and stuff that it's just been really, really difficult with, like even a flight right now. If I have to go to France for work, for instance, a regular flight, like sitting like in the back by the bathroom is like a $3,500 ticket right now. So like even I'm not able to afford to go there right now for work because it's just too expensive. So the shipping is being affected too, but we are actively talking with anyone that'll, you know, kind of help us get that down because it's mental actually. It's when I see the prices, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
It's like when we had Makeup Geek for the same exact size box, we used to be able to get it to customers for like $5, maybe $7. And then this time around, I wasn't sure if it was because it's fragrance. That's a whole nother thing. A lot of shipping carriers, because it's fragrance and it's considered technically a flammable substance, they tack on all these extra fees because of that. So that's kind of been a thing too, but we are actively negotiating with FedEx, USPS, DHL. We already have UPS on board to see. We're basically pitting them against each other, be like, look, we got to get these rates down to try to save you guys some money. So I am so sorry. I really don't have control over it, but I'm trying. I'm trying to get the rates down. I promise. Okay.
Can we paste, just sorry, really quick. Can we just paste for people? I put the URL that goes directly to the Discovery set. When you go to the main website, at the top left, there's a thing that says Discovery. That's where the sample set is. It's the Discovery set. But I just put the link there too.
So yeah, if you guys see at the top of the website, it'll say Discovery Set at the top. So it'll be Essences, Fragrances, Discovery Set. The Discovery Set is where you'll see this guy. So that's the one to try to go to. So again, if you scan that QR code or hit the code launch20, that'll get you 20% off so you can save some money. And hopefully that'll offset your guys' shipping costs too. So okay, so next fragrance we have is Montmartre Midi. And this one specifically was, so when I went to Paris and studied there, that was the neighborhood that I had lived in, was Montmartre. And it was this super cute, I don't know if anyone has been to Paris. It's this very cute neighborhood on the kind of sort of north side of France. And that's where all the artists and the creators live. It's a very creative place that has cute cafes. They have this little trolley you can take by the Moulin Rouge, and you can take it up the hill to go to Sacré-Cœur, which is that big church that overlooks the whole city. It was my favorite place in the entire city of Paris was Montmartre. It is so cute. So this fragrance is based off of my memories of Montmartre, of the cafes there. They have these cute little parks. I would sit and have cafes and sightsee and just people watch. So this one's based off of that, but this is a more creamy floral with just a slightest hint of spice to make it interesting. So I'll let Michael.
This is like kind of it's different, very different from Jardin de Luxembourg, which also has floral notes to it, because this one's a bit softer, and we softened it with a pear note. There's so many fresh fruit markets and flowering trees and things like that in Montmartre that when you're going around, there's just so many really lovely smells that you have. And we wanted this one to wear a little bit less green and a little bit softer than Jardin. So this one, like Marlena said, there's sort of a creaminess to it all over in France, but especially in Paris and in Lyon and in Grasse, where, you know, a lot of the perfume companies are based. There's a plant called star jasmine. It looks like little pinwheels and it grows all over the walls everywhere. So we did this star jasmine note because no matter where you go in Montmartre, there's little areas like that, little private gardens, little walls that have the star jasmine growing. So we wanted that. And then last time I was there, there were these beautiful pears in a fruit stand that were really inspirational for this too. So it's fruity without being a fruit bomb like some of the things that you might get at Sephora. And it's also floral, but it's not so floral that anybody couldn't wear it. It's really nice. It kind of marries to your skin in a way that it's even hard for me to describe. It kind of doesn't interfere with your life, but makes you, attractive in a way to other people. Like people come up to me and say, wow, there's a really nice smell.
Yes.
They don't always know it's my fragrance, but when I wear this one, people always comment on how, I don't know, like it smells almost like fresh outdoors. It
smells very natural. It does not smell synthetic. That's the thing I love about Michael's formulations, you guys. It genuinely, please just try the Discovery set. I want you guys to give me honest feedback. You will know when you smell them, the quality is unlike anything out there because it really does smell like what we're actually saying it has in there. It doesn't smell like a bunch of like fake, not real. They're very realistic smelling. Montmartre is the one that I wear when I have meetings during the day. I'll wear this one every day as well because it's just very elegant. To me, it's just a little bit of sexiness in there. It's a little sweet with that pear, but it's still very sophisticated. So I like what I'm wearing today, full glam. I've got some meetings going on. This is when I would wear Montmartre. Like it's beautiful. This is very grown woman type of fragrance. So
grown anyone.
Grown man too.
Some people have asked about the Discovery set being dabbers or sprays. They are sprays.
They're
and
sprays.
We did that because the dabbing ones drive me crazy.
I
don't know
hate
if anybody else feels the same way, but when I get something and it's a dabber, it gets all over my fingers, and I just cut my finger with a box opener today, so forgive me. But I do not like dabbers. I'm not into them at all. I prefer to always spray, and I'm usually spraying on one of these, which if you want to be very sophisticated next time you go to a place, you can call them a blotter, but we call them mouillettes, which is the French word for little wet, essentially, because we dip them usually in the fragrance. So if you want to have a high, I don't know, if you want to impress your friends and tell them a perfumery word, mouillette.
Be like, do you have a mouillette? And the people at the store will be like, what?
They have no idea.
Okay, next one we have is Une Nuit Parisienne. And they all are my favorite. You guys, I've worn them all for the last couple of years. Like these have been done for a long time. But Une Nuit Parisienne, it has a special place in my heart. So long story short, Michael, with every fragrance that he formulated, he had multiple variations. And we sat down for months, smelled, tested, wore. I had test groups wearing them. I have a whole spreadsheet of, okay, this is the score that this many people liked this one. Like it was a whole process. Une Nuit Parisienne, there were two versions of this. It's an amber that I loved. And people loved both versions. I think eventually we'll sell the other amber as well. But I chose this one as a final one because it has hazelnut in it. And that hazelnut makes this so unique and special because in my opinion, it's almost like a mix between an amber and a gourmand because it has that nutty facet in there with the amber. It's a little bit sweet, has a hint of chai spices in there. So it's sexy. It's all of those things. And on my husband, you guys, when he wears it, I'm like, yes. And then on me, same thing. He loves every time I wear this one. This is truly like my very special. When I go out on a date, go out at nighttime, or right now that it's finally colder in Texas, I'm wearing this one the most because it's very comforting, rich, little dense, little sweet, perfect for fall and winter. It's gorgeous. Love this one.
I've also worn it year round though, because it's not super heavy. But it does have, it has the chai spice note alongside that creamy hazelnut component. But it's all built around a black tea and damask rose. So you actually have this really soft, silky rose with the darkness of the black tea. And then that's all on top of the amber. And for people who weren't with us before, amber is vanilla, but it's also a resin called labdanum. So it's this really rich feeling that underscores the spicy part and the floral part. But I liked the black tea note with the hazelnut because it feels like it could be for anyone. And I wear it all the time. I think this one is probably my favorite out of the collection, even though I love florals myself for wearing. I think that it smells really good on basically everyone. I don't think I've smelled it on anyone that I said, oh, maybe this isn't for you, actually.
That was my most loved one when I did the test group. They loved all of them. Everyone kind of had their favorites, but not a single person said, oh, I don't like Unui. Like everyone has loved this one. I think that's definitely our most popular one that people are liking.
Thanks for saying that, Susie. So a couple of people have put in the chat, and I've missed some other names, but Susie's the one on the top. She said that they don't fade quickly. They last a long time. She really likes that. So yeah.
Oh, good, Susie.
So thank you. Yeah. So we worked really hard so there's two things about perfume, right? Like when you're developing a perfume, obviously you're talking about the notes and the way that it, develops on the skin and everything like that. But the other thing that we always are worried about, or not worried about, but concerned to make right is the evolution and how long it lasts and that it performs. If you have something that's lighter and it's much more citrus focused, naturally citruses fade a little more quickly. And so the way we built like Essence Mandarin, for instance, we added things that extend the life a little bit, but some ingredients last longer on the skin than others. But we tried with every fragrance to not only have it smell amazing, but also last that kind of sweet spot amount of time. So around 6 to 8 hours usually for each one. So we tried to make sure you don't have to keep spraying them 49 times throughout the day. And then also they don't, like we said, smack you in the face. They're just enough.
Sorry, I'm answering some people's questions about how long this 20% off is for today only, but if anyone orders the discovery set, everyone will get an email sent to you within 2 weeks of purchasing it to give you time to test it and figure out which one you love. And if you want a full bottle, you can apply some of this towards the full bottle. So that way you'll get a coupon. So please check your email. If you order this, we're not going to spam you guys if you sign up for our email list. I hate spam emails, drives me crazy. We're not going to spam you. If we ever contact you, it'll be to give you an update on a new launch, give you special coupons, first access to things. That's it. We're not going to spam you with a bunch of BS. So just throwing that out there.
Oh, you know what, Marlena? I do now that you just said that, you reminded me of something that happened earlier in the live. Some people were asking about classes or anything like that with me. Can we do I don't know, a link to my Instagram or something, a link to the website where they can sign up on a mailing list? Because I do a lot of teaching, actually. I teach with the Institute for Art and Olfaction on a pretty regular basis. I also teach with the Metropolitan Museum of Art, with the Getty Museum, so a lot of different museums. But I occasionally do things like that, and I will post on my Instagram and also through my mailing list on my website. If you're interested in perfume and want to learn more, I do a lot of public access courses because I like for people to understand what fragrance is about and what I do on a daily basis. And I don't have a lot of free time, but when I do have free time, I love to do these because I love interacting with people and talking about fragrance. Everybody has something that they can relate to, and it's really nice to be able to do that. So just wanted to add that on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If anyone's having issues with any of the codes or anything like that, please email us and we'll make sure we get you taken care of today. The email is concierge. I'm going to put this in the chat box at houseofmarsté.com. And I don't know if you're on, can you put that as a comment on here and I'll add it to the screen? I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know how to put, oh, here, I can show it. Never mind. I figured it out, you guys. That's our email. So if you guys have any issues with anything at all, contact us there. I'll make sure we get you answered today to help you with whatever you need. So really quickly, let's go through the essences, you guys. We'll kind of go through these fast just because I know we have a lot of questions.
Let's start with mandarin.
Oh, yeah, mandarin.
Let's go. Yeah, I think lightest to heaviest.
Okay.
Maybe.
So, Essence Mandarin is very citrus forward, and it does not smell like, it's very elegant and chic, you guys. It's very wearable on its own. I think some people, when they think of Essence Mandarin, I don't want to smell like orange juice. No. It's just a light, refreshing scent. This is what I wear when I get out of the shower, when I want to feel clean, elegant, just calm, put together. this would be Essence Mandarin. And when you mix this with other fragrances, oh my gosh, it brings out this like zesty factor to it that is so unique. But
Zesty is the perfect word too,
zesty.
because when
Mhm.
if you're grading zest off of a citrus and you've ever, smelled, how your fingers smell after you've used a lime or lemon or something like that. We chose green mandarin because it's one of Marlena's favorites, but also it's one of the really sophisticated citruses that we have in our palette. So it has this really bright, uplifting note to it. It also does make my mouth water just a little bit because that top note is so juicy and so nice, but it remains really fresh and zesty at the same time. And we were saying before, mandarin doesn't last forever. It probably lasts for about 15 or 20 minutes on the skin. That's just how citruses work. But we used a lot of different materials to dress it up and give it its own space so that it felt like a dry down of something that would be very natural to the citrus.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, you guys. And I'll show you at the end of this too, just really quickly, a couple of my favorite combinations. If you do want to layer them, I have some favorites that I think you guys will really love.
Santal or Vanille?
Let's do Vanille. Vanille is, if you are a gourmand lover, Essence Vanille is for you. It is decadent. It's sweet, but it's not sickeningly sweet. You know how sometimes when you get fragrances, they're just way too sweet that it feels like a candy bomb? This is not that. It's sweet while still having that sophistication, that creaminess, that decadence, and then it has just the tiniest hint of lime in there just to freshen it up so it's not too heavy.
Yeah, so this is interesting too because Marlena loves lime and green mandarin. They're very, very close to each other in her mind. And they are close actually in real life too. But we decided to put that little pop of lime on the top because there are so many vanilla fragrances out there. I'm sure all of you probably have some, you've seen them. And this year, I mean, we've been planning this for a few years, but this year has been a year of vanilla. There's been vanilla from every house. So we wanted to make it different, and we both had different ideas about that. And something that I really, really love, I think it's my favorite dessert, is key lime pie. So there's just this, for about 5 minutes, there's this beautiful lime note that we softened out with coriander seeds, which is kind of a woody aspect. And then you kind of go into this very rich, decadent vanilla. It's almost like eating a 7-layer cake, with like where you have the really soft sponge of the cake, and then you have the frosting, and you have all these different components to it. We use lots of different materials around the vanilla absolute. So there's probably around 5% of vanilla absolute in there. Vanilla absolute is extremely expensive. For 1 kilogram, which is the size that we measure by in perfume, which is about this much, it's around $21,000 for just 1 kilo of that. So when we say we're using the real ingredient,
I know.
when I told Marlena the price on some of these formulas, she was like, are you sure? Because we used, real florals, real vanilla, real sandalwood. These are very, very costly materials, and we wanted to make sure that we put them in. And some people were asking before, how did you get the price down with doing that? And it took some doing, but we made it work because, of course,
Michael's a great negotiator with places.
we tried to make it work as good as we could. But we did end up spending a lot of money and time and effort and put a lot of love into what's going in the bottle. And I think that is really the most important thing that a fragrance brand can do, because you can make up all these great stories and you can pretend, and then it's, the juice inside the bottle costs 5 cents to make. And so there's not really
Yours
much else.
does not cost 5 cents. I will validate
I
that.
wish it did, but it
I
doesn't.
know. That check was steep. But all of that is to say, you guys, like, the important part, you guys know, even with Makeup Geek in the past and with Marsté now, like, I don't mess around with quality. I'm not going to sell something that is a bunch of BS with all this marketing around it, like, oh, the finest, whatever. No, this really has expensive and high quality raw materials in it to get the actual juice to be what it should be. I don't know how to say that. If I'm not trying to be aggressive with that, but like, we did not skimp on ingredients on these at all. My favorite combination, really quick, you guys, because I just sprayed the vanilla. When you mix the Essence vanilla with the Essence Mandarin, it smells, you guys, it's my favorite, one of my favorite combos. It smells like, those ice creams that with the orange creamsicle, where it's like the orange on the outside and then the vanilla. Is anyone old enough to remember those? But sophisticated. It smells like that, but a very sophisticated version of it. It is the most delicious combination of vanilla with orange that is divine. It is so good. It's one of my favorite combinations I wear all the time are these two.
That's where when we started to get to anything that was gourmand, where you can get really overly sweet really fast, we wanted to always bring a little bit of something different so that you might be reminded of an orange creamsicle or like me, key lime pie, but it's a fleeting moment, right? Like it's enough to make your mouth water, and maybe you order key lime pie if you go out to eat the next time, but then you kind of get to the more sophisticated side of it, and it still wears like a decadent vanilla, but it's also something that feels more upscale, if you will.
Yep. Okay, then the last one is Essence Santal. And this is another one of my favorites. I wear this all the time, especially right now with fall and winter. My husband wears this one all year round. Like this and Nuit are his two favorites, and it smells different on him than me. It is centered around sandalwood, and sandalwood is my favorite wood, you guys. If you don't know anything about sandalwood, it is the most creamy, slightly sweet, woody raw material that exists. Any fragrance that has sandalwood on it, I'm like, yes, please give me. So when we decided to do Essence Santal as a centered around sandalwood, I was so excited because it's a gorgeous note. Yeah. I don't know if you want
I love sandalwood as well, but like vanilla, sometimes there's just so many different types of fragrances that have sandalwood. So we were trying to think, what makes it more interesting. And so we revisited Marlena's love of cardamom. So you have this really woody, beautiful side of cardamom, and there's a bit of nutmeg as well. So you have this woody, spicy effect that breaks up a little bit of the really soft, silky character of the sandalwood, but just enough to keep it interesting. So you keep smelling and you kind of get a little bit of cardamom, but then you have all the sandalwood. So it's something that you kind of want to keep going back to because it's kind of addictive in a way. It doesn't smell edible, but it has that, gosh, what is that kind of vibe to it?
It's very, in my opinion, it's the perfect combination of sexy and comforting. So if you want to feel just cozy but sexy at the same time, this is what I wear when I go on a romantic date with my husband. If it's like a cute lounge or something like that, we're having cocktails and appetizers, I'll wear Essence Santal because on me, it goes a little sexy, but it's still very comforting and cozy at the same time. So yeah. Okay, should we do the giveaway? And then we can answer more questions for anyone who is out there. So I have Anne on board, my assistant. She's going to try to contact you guys so we make sure that we get your addresses, not publicly, privately. So, Anne, I don't know. I'm going to ask Anne, can you pick 5 people? So I'm going to, give me a second, you guys. We'll answer a couple more questions. Yay, Anne's here. Hi, Anne. She's kind of been hiding back here. So
I asked Anne if she might put my Instagram up on the ribbon just because a few people had asked again about where to find me too. So Marlena tags me in all of her posts. So if you're looking, go to a fragrance post. I'm tagged on there too. I don't have all of the different social medias. I just have Instagram because I'm so busy that I barely even pay attention to the Instagram, but it would be awesome to connect with you. If you've ordered something, I love to hear what people think. So send me a message. I might not be able to respond right away, but I love hearing what people think of the fragrances. And it's really important to us that people like the experience they're having and enjoy it. So if you've ordered something and you've got a little story to tell, I love hearing that type of stuff. So please connect with me. I would love to talk with you.
Yeah. Really quick, while Anne's picking out the 5 people, you guys, a couple people said they wanted to hear our favorite combination. So I'll give one combination, and then Michael, if you want to give your favorite combination.
You better not steal mine.
Then you do your.
No. I want to see what you're going to pick.
Okay. Well, other than I do love Essence Vanille mixed with Essence Mandarin. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm telling you, it's like the most luxurious orange creamsicle ever. But my other favorite one that I like is Nuit Parisienne with Essence Mandarin. And I know that sounds crazy, you guys, mixing those together. Here, I'm going to mix it on a moyette. Okay, so Nuit Parisienne is an amber with hazelnut, has labdanum in there. It has a little bit of spice. But because it's so rich and dense and creamy, a little spicy, when you mix the Essence Mandarin on top, just one spray is all you need. These are parfums, you guys. So they will last you a long time too. That's when you're paying for quality, but you're also paying for these to last you for many, many years. Oh my gosh. The combination of it, it makes it very glamorous to me with that amber, the hazelnut, and then you have that hint of mandarin to kind of freshen it up. It makes it very complex and very well-rounded with those two together. So that's my favorite combination. I just love Oud Nuit. And as all, I want to like bathe in this, but mixed with mandarin. Okay, Michael, what's yours?
I really like to spray Essence Santal first and
Mm-hmm.
let it sit for just, I don't know, a couple minutes while I'm getting ready. So I'll put it on
So you
first.
spray this one? Okay.
Yeah, then I add onto it Montmartre
Oh,
because,
Montmartre?
yeah, it actually, the silky, creamy part of the floral goes with the sandalwood really, really well. So like
Okay.
the jasmine with the sandalwood. So you actually make the floral part even richer. You don't even particularly smell the sandalwood right away because you
Mm-hmm.
layered them together. You
Okay.
smell the pear and the star jasmine, but they smell creamier and softer even than they were before. So I really like, that's a kind of a surprising combination, but I really like it. So it's maybe like a hot perfumer tip. I don't know.
Okay, so how many sprays do you do of Montmartre? So you do one or two
Just
a
one
set?
of each.
Just
Only
one?
one.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. I like that one. I know I've mixed all of them together, but I don't know why I don't think to wear that one on a regular basis. I know I've done all the
I think
combinations.
it's an uncommon, like you wouldn't necessarily think of them together, but I also know everything that's in these formulas, so I know what goes together.
Okay, so if you guys get the sample set, try mixing Montmartre with Santal, Essence Santal. Mix those two together. Tell me what you think. I want you guys to please give me feedback. I genuinely mean this. Once you guys get your discovery sets or get your full bottles or whatever, please give us feedback. I take it to heart. I want you guys to be honest with me and say, I love this for this reason. I love this one. That helps me know moving forward of like, okay, here's the next fragrance we're going to bring out. Because Michael and I are already ideating what the next fragrance will be and other products in the line other than just fragrances. That's all I'm going to say.
You've been bugging me about 2 new fragrances,
I know,
so
actually, I do.
people have a lot to maybe look out for in the next
Yeah.
year. So.
Yeah, there are two that I really want done that I think will be.
And they're awesome ideas. I'm so excited to get started on them. I can't even wait. I mean, I need a break,
Two.
but but I'm really, really excited to work on them. I've already scribbled some ideas in my notebook and stuff. So I think
Yay! I know. Michael and I both have notebooks, you guys, that were like, oh, we should mix like, cardamom with this or do like basil with that or like different combination. It is so freaking fun. You guys, I mean this with every fiber of my soul. I love fragrance even more than makeup. And that is a lot for me to say. You guys
that
know
might be
this.
fighting words. I don't know. People
I
might
know. People are going to start pulling out torches and find me at my house and be like, oh, she said what?
be.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Anne picked these. So if there's fights that break out in the chat box, it's on Anne. No, I'm just kidding, Anne. Anne's amazing. She's a sweetheart. She's been with me for many, many years. Okay. Are we ready? Drum roll. And I'll put these on the chat box so I can pull it up. Okay, so our 5 winners that we have picked is here, I'm going to copy this. Tommy Tomlin. Yay, Tommy Tomlin. I feel like I should have like special music, dance music playing. Hold on. I'm going to see if I have special music to show you guys. Okay, so winner number 1, Tommy. Yay! Do I have some good music to play? Hold on, you guys.
I
Indie
don't
rock.
know. Yeah, I'm not good at this. You have to do it.
It's loading. It's loading. That's really cheesy. Why did they give me cheesy tracks?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we're selling like Subway footlong sandwiches or something. I don't know. It's not
There's
perfume.
cinematic.
Music.
There's a cinematic option. Okay.
I
Winner
don't hear
number
anything. Where the suspense. Okay, this is good.
This one's good. Okay, the suspense. Okay, so Tommy, Anne's trying to reach you to get your mailing address. Pick out which one you want. Tell us which fragrance that you want. Okay, the next winner we have, hold on. Where's my chat box? Is Tweety Yabs 11. Tweety Yabs 11. I hope I'm saying your username right. Hold on. This is our next one. Yay! Okay, that's our second winner. Okay, our third winner is Lady
J.
3 Coffee Makeup. Hold on.
Coffee and makeup. Yep.
Yay! Yay! That's our third winner. Woohoo! Okay, and then our fourth winner is Erica Pillsbury. Erica Pillsbury. Yay, Erica!
I want to know what people are going to pick for their fragrance. This isn't fair. I want to know now.
Okay, you guys, if you were one of the winners or whoever, tell me which one sounds like your favorite. Post it in the comments. And then
we won't hold you to it. You can change your mind, but I'm curious.
You can change your mind. And then the fifth winner is Kitten on the Keys. Kitten on the Keys, yay! Let me turn off this music. That's driving me crazy. Yay! Congratulations.
I don't know what movies those people that run this are watching, but I've never seen a movie with that music before. So
it gives me these options on the side, like R&B, future pop, and it's always like canned music, whatever. Yeah. Okay, you guys, tell us in the notes in the chat box what fragrance caught your eye the most, so we can kind of like gauge and be like, okay, this is the one we think is going to be everyone's favorite. What is going to be everyone's favorite? Let's see.
The hazelnut one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the hazelnut one. So
true. It's good.
Unuit.
You just need to get used to people calling it the hazelnut one, because we were calling it that when it was in the modification round too. Mm-hmm. So it's the hazelnut one. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have that, please. I'll have what she's having.
Really quick, I have to address this, you guys. You guys know I'm blunt. I'm blunt as hell. I'm sorry. Texas Lioness is asking, any plans to create an IG and YouTube under the House of Marsté name? Okay, here's what's going on with Meta. Meta, I have been fighting with, and my lawyers have been fighting with for months, you guys. Trying to change the name from Makeup Geek Cosmetics, because this is basically the new brand replacing Makeup Geek, is Marsté. And I was like, I am not giving up 16 years of building up this audience and social platform. So we are currently fighting with Meta. They are trying to change it for me, but my lawyers have to send all this documentation. We've been sending documentation for weeks now, trying to get this resolved. So if for whatever reason Meta keeps effing around, I'll just start a new Instagram. But right now it is the Makeup Geek one. So I apologize that it does look a bit messy, where I have the logo for Marsté, the site and all of that, but then the actual username says Makeup Geek. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with it, because Meta, I'm tired of playing with you. So we do have the Instagram, and the YouTube is up. Videos go live this week. So if you guys want any sort of fragrance education, talking about fragrance families, how to build a fragrance wardrobe, what is the difference between eau de toilette and eau de parfum, all of that stuff I've already created videos for. They go up this week. I'll put it here. It is on House of Marsté is the YouTube channel name. So that is YouTube. So if you guys give me this week, I already have videos that are ready to go. I'm going to start uploading on lots of really cool projects. So I was going to put it on my personal YouTube, but I know people are there for makeup and I don't want to irritate people. I'll still do fragrance on that channel as well, but I don't want to heavily push it just because I know people want makeup as well. So if you want any fragrance education stuff, House of Marsté, if you guys want to take classes, check out Michael's Instagram. You can contact him. He's an amazing teacher. I really, really learned a lot from him. It was such a great experience. So yay. Graveyard Bunny said Un Nuit. Everyone's liking Un Nuit, I think.
The hazelnut one.
The hazelnut one.
First.
Yes. Yes, on there. I know Meta needs to change it. Someone's saying Montmartre Midi.
Maybe a lot of people just send Meta a complaint message that it should
please contact Meta if you guys have. If anyone has a contact at Meta, please. I have tried contacting them in every single way. My lawyer contacted them. They just don't care. I don't know what to do at this point. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's the thing. Well, my friend said that, like, between you, me, and some other people he knows, that we live the blue check mark life. Well, let me tell you something. Having the blue check mark on your profile does not get you any customer service at Meta.
Not at all.
It's when you say Meta, like, you understand that
there is no customer
kind
service.
Of a scam. Yeah.
There's like, not. Even with that
a robot
charge I pay for the check mark, it's still no service.
I don't want to make a conspiracy theory, but I don't know how many actual human beings work at Meta, because whenever I get anything, they don't seem.
I got chatbot responses.
To read my email. It is what it is.
That's what it is. Oh my gosh. We're keeping it real on here. Linda says the Essence Vanille. Yes. Yay. Everyone said, Michael, you were so fun. Nice meeting you
Super
today.
nice to meet all of you. I wish I could see you, but
I
well,
know.
we
I
need
know.
to. Okay, so you and I need to take a class clearly because we barely know what we're doing. I mean, we've managed today, and everybody's been really patient, but I was sending messages to Marlene. Like I cut my finger open like right before we were going to do the live, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to be late. Great. And then we were trying to figure out how to get it to work on Instagram, and it was just we need a very young person that's very skilled at this because I cannot be that person. I'm
can't.
aging out of the demographic that knows how to use these things.
I just learned that you could do lives on TikTok. I didn't know that till a couple weeks ago. So I feel really old.
You know more than I do about that. My brain is full of perfume materials. I can't be bothered about learning how to do any of this stuff. So,
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Anne is trying to figure out how to contact you guys. So I'm going to do this just because I don't know why we aren't able to contact you on here. So for the 5 winners, can you please do me a favor? This is really important because I really want you guys to get your perfumes. If you didn't win the thing today, please don't be trying to sneak in and try to get fragrance. This is for the 5 winners. But for anything, you guys, anyone can email concierge if you guys need this. But for the 5 winners, I'm going to say them again. So we have Tommy Tomlin, Tweety Abs 11, Lady Coffee and Makeup, Erica Pillsbury, and Kitten on the Keys. Can you 5 please email concierge@houseofmarsté.com? Give us your address and what fragrance you want so we can get that shipped for you tomorrow. So I'll make sure that
put live winner or something in the subject line.
Yeah, just put live. I'm one of the live winners. Email us so that way we get your address and we get them shipped up. So I'm going to leave this up for a second so the winners can actually please contact us so we know that it's you. I want to make sure that you get your prize. So yes.
Somebody else also mentioned something. They said, I think they said this was a while ago, but it's stuck in my brain because it's alliterative, I guess. But Fragrance Fridays.
Mm-hmm. Those are still
somebody,
Those are coming.
Okay, so somebody was talking about that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be a guest on that in the future too. If I was fun enough today, maybe I'll revisit and we'll come back. You know how I am. I don't do that many video things, but for you, I will do it for you.
Yeah. You're so good on camera. I think you underestimate how good you are on camera.
I don't know. I think I accurately estimate how good I am on camera. I don't think that I'm that great. But hey, I keep it real. I'm not going to pretend to be, I'm a perfumer, but I'm not going to pretend to be above anything,
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to put the QR code up, you guys, as well. So if anyone does want to try that, it's in that corner right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So scan that with your phone. It'll take you to the site. You get the 20% off. Or if you if that does not work for you and you don't have a scanner on your phone, the code is launch. Here, I'm going to put it back up. Launch 20 is the code. So if you guys enter that when you go to checkout, do that. If you have any issues at all, please email us so that way we make sure that we get you guys taken care of. So, and then last time I will put up Michael's Instagram. If anyone wants to follow him, reach out for classes, learn anything about fragrance, you can check him out there as well. So
I post to my stories more often than anything else on my Instagram, but there's a lot of perfumery stuff that comes up, like different launches that I'm working on, stuff like that, classes, etc. So you can kind of keep up with me there, but we do have a mailing list. And again, I'm not so tech savvy, but we're finishing up the website right now. So things will go live and you can actually learn a little bit more if you're interested. So that's coming by the first week of December. We're almost done. I just made some comments on it today. So getting there. I'm working my way through to the reality of that.
Yay! Well, this was so fun, you all. Thank you so much for your time, for coming. Thank you, Michael, so much for being on here. You're such a joy. I love everything that you do. He's really done a great job, you guys. I know he's very modest and all of that. Like his resume and his work is phenomenal, above and beyond. So I really think you guys will love the fragrances. You can definitely tell they're high quality.
At least the lighting in here, I don't look beet red, but I feel warm.
Yeah. Oh.
It's okay. I'm going to go crawl into a comforter. Oh, wait. can I finish with, can I do a finale thing? I just
Mm-hmm.
need to show everybody. I needed a really, really warm winter coat because it's getting really cold. And so I got this on sale. Just
Okay. Oh, I want to see. He has good fashion too. He has. Do I need music for you, Michael? Did I need to add some dramatic music? Hold on. Let me see what cheesy songs I have on here. Do you want some hip hop? Hold on. Let me play some hip hop.
okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Hold on.
Oh yeah,
This gigantic green. It's essentially a
I like
blanket.
it.
Like
I
it's
like
just
it.
a blanket. It's from a company called Rains, and I'm not. This is not sponsored. I just wanted it, but it's like
really
full length. You can't even see it. I'm trying to move this out so you can actually see. It goes like to the floor. I'm just like a giant sleeping bag. This is all I wanted. I think I'm only gonna wear this from now on. So that's my finale look.
That's actually cool. I like it. See, I can't even wear. I'm wearing long sleeves today, and this is about the extent of it. Like this is I don't get to wear jackets in Texas because it's hot.
Oh yeah, you're not in a
as
cold enough place, but like here it's been like kind of warmer than usual, but then we had some rain and stuff. And I'm outside of New York City, everyone, for anyone wondering. It was like 36 suddenly, and I was wearing a very light jacket because it was warm in the morning. And oh my God. So this happened, and Rains, I think they were stalking me because they sent me that discount coupon thing, and
Oh.
it's what's done is done. This is my new favorite coat.
Okay, I like it. It looks really cool. It looks cozy too.
It is. It's just a sleeping bag. That's all. So.
See, I need to get one and come visit you in New York so I can escape the heat in Texas because
yeah, we'll do a live when you come here.
Yeah, there we go.
Live from New York. It's not Saturday night. It's Sunday afternoon. But yeah, really awesome to get to exchange with all of you and hear your comments. And please do keep in touch. And a lot of people are demanding that I do Fragrance Fridays. So
okay. We'll get you on. I think it would be amazing because then
a few hot topics. I got a few things to say. I didn't get to say all of them today. So, but now I'm going to take a nap in this coat. So love everyone. Thank you so much for your support. Yay. We have basically crawled to the finish line at the end where we thought we didn't have anything left, but we got it out. We're really, really proud of it. I'm really proud of Marlena. She's amazing. She's such a great partner to work with. And we can't wait for the future releases. They're going to be awesome. So
it's going to be awesome.
Stay tuned.
Yay. Thanks, you guys. Have a happy weekend. I'll see you guys soon.